One of the biggest worries that parents share with me before heading back to work after having a baby is the question, what will happen to my child's sleep when I'm not there to manage it? I hear a lot of parents putting unnecessary pressure on themselves to get their children to self-soothe long before they're ready to go back to work. The fear is that unless their children are completely independent with sleep, nobody else will be able to manage them. And unfortunately, that kind of pressure can cause all kinds of unnecessary stress for parents and babies. And sometimes they're trying to make changes that may not be necessary at all. The thing is, babies can change really quickly. So the baby you have today may be very different to the baby you have in a month or two. They might be eating more solids, becoming more sociable, communicating differently, or simply becoming more adaptable with age and development. And here's something else I see all the time. Sometimes it's actually easier for an alternative caregiver to settle a baby when the primary parent isn't there at all. So just because your baby likes to be cuddled to sleep by you in a particular way or fed to sleep by you, that doesn't mean that they're incapable of learning a completely different routine with somebody else. Your partner, their grandparent, the childcare educator or the nanny will find their own way of settling your baby through trial and error, just like you did. They might cuddle your baby to sleep, walk around with them on their shoulder, they might use the pram or the car, or they might find a completely different routine that you haven't even thought of yet. Often the hardest part of the whole thing is not the baby adapting, it's us parents letting go of the reins. And this can feel extra worrying if sleep is particularly fragile. Handing over that steering wheel can feel truly terrifying. We worry that if somebody does something differently, everything is just going to fall apart. But here's the thing, taking a leap of faith and doing something differently can actually lead to some really positive discoveries. And yes, sometimes things can become more tricky before they become easier, but that's because nobody likes change and babies are no different. But if returning to work is inevitable and the change has to happen at some point, just when is the question, the B.R.A.I.N acronym, the brain decision-making acronym, can be a useful tool in helping you to decide. It helps you look at the benefits of making change ahead of time versus waiting later, the risks, the alternatives, what your instinct says, and also helps you to think about what will happen if you change nothing at all. If you look down in the caption below, I'll include all of that there so you can take some time to work it out for yourself. But in my experience, when families allow the new circumstances to gradually shape the expectation of their children, this can often be a gentler path than trying to prepare hard for it beforehand. So my advice, trust your baby, trust the people who you are going to be leaving your baby in the care of. Trust yourself and remember, you do not have to solve every future problem before it actually arrives. Now, if you've already made the transition back to work and you have some top tips, please share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.